Yo, what's up, guys? This is Steven with The Forge again, checking in with you for day 25 and 26. Once again, I'm in my work truck. A little more rundown than I would like to be for this video, but super excited to present this video. These last couple days have been interesting. Pray for my wife and her family. Pray for me. With God, all things are able. But other than that, I'm really excited about this reading. Super cool. So I'm going to try to break it down. Someone gave me some advice, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. I missed yesterday, so I'm doing days 25 and 26. But I'm going to go ahead and speak in every day individually, if that makes sense. So follow along. So day 25, we read Genesis 36 and 37. Genesis 36 is the explanation of Esau's children, his descendants. And sorry about the radio you hear in the background. That's my work. But anyways, so chapter 36 is Esau's descendants. And it's really cool because you could actually follow the people that God's put on this earth and the different nations that God's created and allowed to be created. So you see that in chapter 36. And then in chapter 37, you see Joseph come on the scene. Joseph's having dreams. He's his father's favorite son. His father gives him a beautiful robe. His brothers get jealous, and then they plot to kill him. They throw him in like a hole, pretty much, a cistern, I think is what is said in the King James. I forgot exactly how it says it. But they threw him in the hole, and then one of his brothers backed him up and said, yo, we can't kill him. He's one of us. Let's just sell him off to slavery instead. That's the point they got to. Remember, I'm always paraphrasing in all of these. And so they sell him off to some Ishmaelites, and he ends up in Egypt in Potiphar's house, a great man in Egypt, like a leader, right? And we'll learn about that as we go on. But what's really sad is Joseph's brothers lie and say Joseph was eaten by a beast in the fields. They take his robe, tear it up, make it look like he was killed. His father's super sad, but the good news is what they desire to do for evil ends up being good, and we sort of know the story. If you've read the Bible, if not, we're going to go ahead and learn about that pretty soon. And then day 26, we read Genesis 38 and Matthew chapter 11. The reason why that's important is Genesis 38 talks about Tamar and Judah. I would encourage you to read that on your own. That's one of those stories where I don't want to get censored by YouTube, and nor do I really know how to explain the story that well. So it'd be really important for you to go and read just that section and see what's going on. Long story short, Tamar's husband dies. Judah's his father. They're related, blah, blah, blah. Tamar gets the short end of the stick. Judah has to actually end up indirectly repenting. It's an interesting part of the story. And I'm still trying to learn why God wants us to learn about it. But then we look at Matthew chapter 11, which I really want to focus on. This is when John the Baptist is asks his disciples to go ask Jesus, are you the Christ? Are you the Messiah? And then Jesus tells his disciples to go back and tell him all the things you've seen. Tell him all the people that you've seen healed. Tell him all the miracles that you've seen here today and previously. And they go back and they tell John the Baptist. And then the reason why I find that interesting is John the Baptist has questions like, are you the one? Right? Because John's locked up. He's seeing a lot of crazy things. And he's asking, are you the one? And yeah, he asked Jesus, are you the one? And the reason why I'm hitting on that is because Jesus says this about John the Baptist. After John asks, are you the one, Jesus, while he's locked up in prison? Matthew 11:11. Truly I say to you, among those born of women, there has risen no one greater than John the Baptist. Yet the one who is least in the kingdom of the heaven is greater than he. So there has been no one greater born in this world greater than John the Baptist. And he's a messenger. He's literally Jesus' cousin. And Jesus is saying there's no one born that's been greater, no one born greater than John the Baptist other than, and he's referencing himself, right? And the reason why we know he's referencing himself, at the end he says, yet the one who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Jesus is greater than him. He is, yeah, I'll just leave it there so you can really dissect it, because it could actually be understood as Jesus being greater than John the Baptist, or it could also be understood as Jesus says, yeah, so let's just stop there. I'll let you dissect it. Ask me some questions about that because I'm still working through that. But you have to be the least to be first. So if we're technically the least, maybe we're, yeah, so that's just a rabbit hole. I don't really want to teach that, but that's just something for you to chew on and think about. And then what I also find interesting, just considering where my life's at currently in other people's lives, is in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. It says, "Come to me, all who are labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Life is tough. Life is not easy. And Jesus offers us an easy yoke. He says, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." He says it after he says, "Come to me, all who are labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." So he's saying, come to me, everyone who's tired, and I'm going to give you rest. And I'm thinking like, nice, he's going to put me in a comfortable bed. But instead, he says, take my yoke upon you. So Jesus is giving us rest by putting a yoke on us. And if you look at what a yoke is something that bulls use, working animals use over their shoulders to pull in a field. So Jesus is saying, come to me, you who are tired, and I'm going to give you some work. You're going to join me in this labor of life and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So we're going to have to work at life here. We're going to have to struggle a little bit, but his yoke is easy, and the burden that comes with that, whatever that is light. So no matter what you're going through in life, my encouragement to you is recognize that Jesus' yoke is easy and his burden is light. I hope you invite Jesus into your life, because we could be like Joseph. People can have ill intentions for us, and guess what? It's never going to prosper if God is with us. And then if we remember that Jesus provides an easy yoke and a light burden, what can stop us in this world? Hope you guys have a great day. Once again, I'm sorry for checking in my truck. I sort of like it. It's kind of the vibe of my life, working and serving God. Hope you have a great day. Later, guys.